Tempest Trials is back, and this time we have to stop Gerome and his really cool map animations. I know you guys are just here for the rewards, so let's see what we get. As usual, if you manage to earn 99,999 points, you will earn 42 orbs, 11,000 feathers, and 80 sacred coins. This time you can also earn 1 fire blessing at 25,000 points, which is nice. For sacred seals, we have the almighty obstruct skill, res ploy, and the last is defense tactic. For the reward unit this time, you can get Gerome, who is Gerom's son, and like his mother is an axe-wielding Wyvern Rider. All around, a pretty decent Tempest Trials. I definitely want those orbs because we have a Special Heroes banner coming up. Could be more spring units or maybe something else. Now let's talk about the Sacred Seals a bit. So I know everyone is really excited for the Obstruct Sacred Seal, and I can't believe they made it into a seal. In all seriousness, Obstruct is pretty similar to Brash Assault and Pass, where I don't think it's that terrible of a skill, but its placement in the B slot is just not good. Too many B skills that are just way more useful, but maybe Obstruct can find a place in the Sacred Seal slot. To me, Obstruct can prove its worth on maps with choke points, especially maps you can plan out in advance. It may not be that popular, but maybe it will change in the future. Next we have Res Ploy, and this isn't really a surprise. We already have Attack and Defense Ploy, and they are all pretty solid as Sacred Seals. Being able to run double ploy skill builds can be nice, and from experience using Arvis, it can definitely be a nice strategy to play around in Arena. Res Ploy is going to be good for mages and or dragons, and really just grants them some extra damage. Last is Defense Tactic, and I was pretty skeptical of the leaks that had mentioned this. However, it seems like the leaks were true, and now Defense Tactic is a Sacred Seal. We just seem to be getting this skill since we got a free Legendary Ike, and he was on the last Legendary banner along with Shiro. If you're curious as to how tactic skills work, I have done a video about them recently, and I hope you can check it out to get a better understanding of how they work. With Defense Tactic as a seal, we can now run double tactic skill builds, and eventually you could have all 4 tactic skills on just 2 units. Do keep in mind that if you go down this route, only 2 units on a team will ever receive all 4 buffs, and your 2 buffers will only get the 2 buffs being from each other. Overall, Defense Tactic may be the best seal here to fully upgrade, although maybe you don't really need it at the moment. The reward unit this time is Gerome, and his stats are pretty darn similar to Gerome. The unlucky thing is that Gerome loves an attack nature for her Brave Axe build, and Gerome can never get a nature, so that is a downside. He is quite tanky however, so if you don't have a Gerome, Baruka, or Michaelis built up, then Gerome may be a nice flyer to have. Gerome comes with the Pole Axe, which is inheritable and is basically the Cavalier effectiveness weapon, same as the Rider's Bane and the Zambato. This could be a really nice weapon to inherit since effectiveness against horses is great to have. He also comes with Rally Tact / Defense, Fortress Defense, and Hit and Run. None of these are too crazy, but I believe all of these are fully available at his 4-star rank if you wish to inherit them. Overall, I think Gerome is cool. He sacrifices speed for a pretty high attack stat and a decent defensive stat. If you want to run the Brave Axe build, I would recommend just waiting for a plus attack nature Gerome who can also be merged. The Batman will probably just have a spot on my team until I need someone to take care of some pesky Cavaliers. So some personal thoughts, I have to say this Tempest Trials may have the most boring summoning banner, however all of those 20% units are very available and easy to get. This is very good if you use any of those units, and if you don't, then maybe now might be a good time to start to train them up. Also, Gerome is a 40% bonus unit, and you get the 4-star version very early if you want that full bonus. I think having the reward unit at 40% is great and should always be the case for future Tempest Trials. As for Defense Tactic, I think it's going to be a good option to have for customization. This is one of the major problems for these skills since they are still pretty rare and hard to get. The tactic skills require a lot of team customization for the best usage, so as a Sacred Seal, it means you can pass it to anybody at any time. As I mentioned before, double tactic skill builds may or may not be crazy good. A full tactics team might want to spread out all the skills, but if you only use one tactic buffer, then letting them have 2 tactic skills would be pretty sweet. It doesn't hurt to have it, but man, I really want speed tactic to show up. I guarantee it's going to be on the next limited time special units banner. Gerome is a nice reward unit. I like his voice lines and he has a decent spread of stats. The lack of access to natures does make me consider him below Gerome, but he still comes with the Pole Axe, and it's nice to see axes get another weapon to play with. Overall, if you don't care for him, you can at least give the Pole Axe to someone else. That's going to be it for this video. Now if you haven't checked the event calendar, there are a ton of banners coming up, so make sure you choose the one you really want to summon on. I always enjoy the large amount of orbs you get from Tempest Trials, and I would recommend you try to get the Defense Tactic Sacred Seal. I don't think it's an instant tier 3 upgrade, but it could be in the future if you have a team that really needs it. Good luck on getting those rewards, and I'll see you guys in the next video.